Okay, our next topic, combination of errors. We already learned about absolute error, mean absolute error, relative error, percentage error, likewise. Now the combination of errors. What happens if we combining two or three variables? Means in the case of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, what happens to the error? That we are going to discuss. Okay, so the first one, error in sum of two quantities. For that, we considered two measurements, A and B. A and B are two measured values. So we can say that A is measured as A plus or minus delta A. Likewise, B is also measured as B plus or minus delta B. Now we consider an equation Z equal to A plus B, the sum. Z equal to A plus B. So we considered again that delta Z is the error in Z. So we can rewrite this equation like this. Z plus or minus delta Z is equal to A plus or minus delta A plus B plus or minus delta B. So that is equal to A plus B plus or minus delta A plus delta B. So we can say that A plus B is equal to Z. Likewise, we can say that delta Z equal to delta A plus delta B. So the error delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. Okay, so we can say like a rule. Hence the rule, the maximum possible error in sum of two quantities is equal to the sum of absolute errors in the individual quantities. So in the case of addition, the errors is equal to the sum of their absolute errors. Okay, so in the case of addition, the error is equal to the sum of absolute errors. Okay, so likewise, the next one, error in difference of two quantities. That's also same. So we can have a look. That is, we consider an equation Z equal to A minus B. So we know that A is equal to A plus or minus delta A. We can substitute that here. Okay, and likewise B is equal to B plus or minus delta B. And the error in Z is delta Z. So Z plus or minus delta Z is equal to A plus or minus delta A minus B plus or minus delta B. So we can rewrite these equations A minus B plus we can consider it as plus delta A minus plus or minus. So minus or plus. So that are same. So we can put here plus or minus. So plus or minus delta A plus delta B. Likewise we can write. So that's equal to Z, because A minus B is Z plus or minus delta A plus delta B. So the possible error is delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. Here also the total error is the sum of absolute errors. Okay, so the same rule will applicable here. That is the rule. The maximum error in the difference of two quantities is equal to the sum of the absolute errors in the individual quantities. Okay, clear? So the next one, error in product of two quantities. Error in product of two quantities. For that we can consider the same condition. We considered two measurements A and B. A is measured as A plus or minus delta A and B is measured as B plus or minus delta B. So we can consider the equation as Z equal to AB. Z equal to AB, and delta Z is the error in Z. So we can rewrite this equation as Z plus or minus delta Z equal to A plus or minus delta A into B plus or minus delta B. Okay, then A into A, AB plus or minus A into delta B. Okay, then delta A into delta B, sorry, delta A into B, that is B into delta A. Then delta A into delta B. So here small mistake is there, that is delta A into delta B. Okay, delta A into delta B, that is a small mistake. Now we can divide this equation by Z equal to AB, that is LHS by Z and RHS by AB. So Z by Z 1, delta Z by Z as it is. Then AB by AB 1. Then A into delta B by AB, delta B by B. Then B into delta A by AB, so the delta A by A. Then delta A into delta B by AB, so that is delta A by A into delta B by B. Okay, here we can consider that delta A by A and delta B by B are very small quantities, so their product can be negligible. Okay, that's also very small, so we can neglect that. So we are neglecting this term. So we have 1 plus or minus delta Z by Z is equal to 1 plus or minus delta B by B plus or minus delta A by A. That term only we have. So now we can write that when 1 becomes cancelled. So we can write delta Z by Z is equal to delta B by B plus or minus delta A by A. Or we can say that delta Z by Z is equal to delta A by A plus delta B by B. What is this delta A by A? That is nothing but the relative errors. So we can say that in the case of multiplication, the total error is the relative error, that is the sum of their individual relative errors. So hence we can say the rule, the maximum fractional error in the product of two quantities is equal to the sum of fractional errors. Fractional error means the relative error. Fractional errors in the individual quantities. That is the rule. The maximum fractional error in the product of two quantities is equal to the sum of the fractional errors in the individual quantities. Okay, clear? Then next one, error in the division or quotient. We can consider that the same condition. A is measured as A plus or minus delta A and B as B plus or minus delta B. So we have an equation that Z equal to A by B. Here delta Z is the error in Z. So we can write that equation like this. Z plus or minus delta Z is equal to A plus or minus delta A by B plus or minus delta B. We can take A outside. So 1 plus or minus delta A by A. Because here there is no A, so we can multiply and divide with A, then we take that A outside. So that is 1 plus or minus delta A. And from this equation we can take B. So B into 1 plus or minus delta B by B. Okay, so again we can rewrite this equation A by B into 1 plus or minus delta A by A into 1 plus or minus delta B by B all raised to minus 1. Okay, then by using a theorem that is called a binomial approximation, if an equation is of the form 1 plus x raised to n, then we can change that 1 plus nx. We can change that equation approximately 1 plus nx if x is very less than that of 1. Okay, x is a smaller quantity, then we can approximate. So here we are approximating. So that is equal to, actually it is minus 1 into delta b by b. So this plus or minus is changed into minus or plus. Okay, so the total equation z plus or minus delta z is equal to z into, because a by b is z into 1 plus or minus delta a by a into 1 plus minus or plus delta b by b. Then we can divide this equation by z equal to ab or z. We can divide this equation both sides by z. So we will get 1 plus or minus delta z by z, because here also a z is there. So z by z 1. So that is 1 plus or minus delta z by z is equal to 1 plus or minus delta a by a into 1 minus or plus delta b by b. Okay, so we can arrange that, or we can multiply that. 1 into 1, 1 itself. Then delta a into a, delta a by a itself. Okay, then plus or minus delta b by b. This minus or plus minus are the same. So plus or minus delta a by a into delta b by b. Here also we can neglect this quantity, because it is very small. Delta a by a and delta b by b are very small. So we can neglect that two quantities. So we will get delta z by z is equal to delta b by b plus or minus delta a by a, or delta z by z is equal to delta a by a plus or minus delta b by b. Okay, actually there is no need of plus or minus. We are not taking that plus or minus. We will take it as positive only. Okay, we will add. So in both case, we can just add that equation. So delta z by z is equal to delta a by a plus delta b by b. Okay, then hence the rule, the maximum fractional error in the quotient of two quantities is equal to sum of their individual fractional errors. So in the case of multiplication and division, relative error is considered. That is, the sum of the relative error is considered. And in the case of addition and subtraction, we considered the absolute error. Okay, then the next one, error in the power of a quantity. If we have an equation of the form z equal to a raised to n, simply we can consider z equal to a square. What is actually that is? Z is equal to a into a. So actually that equation is z by z is equal to delta a by a plus delta a by a. So it is actually equal to 2 into delta a by a. Okay, so if there is n quantities, then it is n into delta a by a. That we can solve by some other methods. Simply we can write it as n into delta a by a. So that we can solve. So we can consider this as del z plus or minus delta z is equal to a plus or minus delta a all raised to n. So we can divide this equation by z equal to a raised to n. Then we will get, or we can take a raised to n outside first. Then it becomes a raised to n into 1 plus or minus delta a by a all raised to n. So now we are dividing that equation by z. Then we will get 1 plus or minus delta z by z is equal to 1 plus or minus delta a by a into n. Now we can approximate it by using the binomial approximation. So now we will get 1 plus or minus delta z by z is equal to 1 plus or minus n into delta a by a. So delta z by z is equal to n into delta a by a. Okay, clear. Now we can generalize the things. So hence what is the rule there? The fractional error in the nth power of the quantity is n times the fractional error in the quantity. Okay, n into whatever the quantity, that its relative error we considered. Okay, so that is n into delta A by A. So delta Z by Z is equal to n into delta A by A. If there is, the power is n. Okay, then we can generalize this. If an equation is of the form z equal to a raised to p, b raised to q by c raised to r, then the maximum fractional error in z is given by delta z by z is equal to p into delta a by a plus q into delta b by b plus r into delta c by c. This is a very important equation. So if an equation of the form z equal to a raised to p, b raised to q and c raised to r, then the error in that equation is delta z by z is equal to p into delta a by a plus q into delta b by b plus r into delta c by c. Likewise, we can represent the percentage error also. Just we want to multiply this equation into 100. Then it will become percentage error. Okay, clear? So now we considered for the combination of errors. In the case of the combination of errors, there are mainly three types we discussed. What are they? First one, addition and subtraction. Second one, multiplication and division. And the third one, power. Okay, clear? Okay, now we can discuss some problem related to this topics. Okay, then the first problem. First problem, length of a sheet is 17.3 plus or minus 0.3 centimeter and the breadth is 3.12 plus or minus 0.08 centimeter. Calculate the percentage error in its area. We want to calculate the percentage error in its area. How we can calculate? So first we want to know the equation for area. We got that length L equal to 17.3 plus or minus 0.3 centimeter and breadth B equal to 3.12 plus or minus 0.08 centimeter. Okay, and we know that the equation for the area equal to length into breadth. So what is the possible error in this area? That is delta A by A is equal to delta L by L plus delta B by B. Okay, this is the possible error in this equation. Okay, so what we want to calculate? The percentage error in area. So we can multiply it with 100. So delta A by A into 100 is equal to delta L by L into 100 plus delta B by B into 100. Okay, what is delta L? What is delta L? Delta L equal to 0.3 plus or minus 0.3, that is 0.3, and delta B equal to 0.08. Okay, this is actually L plus or minus delta L and it is B plus or minus delta B. That is the measurements. Okay, then what we will get? So delta A by A into 100 is equal to delta L is 0.3 by What is the actual value of length? It is 17.3. So 17 point by 17.3 into 100 plus what is the next one? 3.12 plus or minus 0.08. So 0.08 by 3.12 into 100. This you can calculate. Then you will get the percentage error. Okay. So this is the answer. You want to calculate it by using a calculator or anything. Okay. So this is the final result for this question. Okay. Next we can move to the next question. So next question. The error in the measurement of radius of a circle is 0.6%. Find the percentage error in the calculation of the area of the circle. What is the equation for the area of the circle? Is pi r square. For the circle, the area is pi r square. Okay. So what we want to find? Given that 0.6% is the percentage error in radius. So we can write the error in this equation is delta A by A is equal to 2 into delta R by R. So the percentage error delta A by A into 100 equal to 2 into delta R by R into 100. So that's equal to this we have, that is delta R by R into 100 we have. So that is 2 into 0.6. So that's equal to 1.2%. So the answer is 1.2%. Clear? Very simple. So first we want to write the equation and then we want to write the corresponding error. Then we will get the answer. Then the next question. If the percentage error of measurement in velocity and mass are 2% and 4% respectively, what is the percentage error in kinetic energy? We want to get the percentage error in its kinetic energy. So we know that the equation for kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. For easiness, I put it as k. So k equal to half mv square. Okay, so what is the possible error in this equation? Delta k by k equal to delta m by m plus 2 into delta v by v. Okay, what we have given the percentage error and also we want to calculate the percentage error in kinetic energy. So in the case of percentage error, delta k by k into 100 is equal to delta m by m into 100 plus 2 into delta v by v into 100. Okay, here delta m by m into 100 is 2% and delta v by v into 100 is 4%. So we will get the answer as delta k by k into 100 is equal to 2 plus 2 into 4. So it is 2 plus 8. So that's equal to 10%. The answer is 10%. Okay. 2 into 2 into 4 plus 2. So the answer is 10%. Clear? So we don't want to consider the constant term here. Here one half is there. So you don't want to consider that constant term. Okay. Then next one. Length, breadth and thickness of a block is measured using a vernier caliper. The percentage error in the measurements are 2%, 1% and 3%. Estimate the percentage error in its volume. So we want to write the equation for the volume. V is equal to length into breadth. Then what we given? Thickness, T. So T will be confused. So that is, we can write it as D. Thickness is denoted as D. Okay. So the error in this equation is delta V by V is equal to delta L by L plus delta B by B plus delta D by D. We want to calculate the percentage error. So we want to change this equation. Delta B by V into 100 is equal to delta L by L into 100 plus delta B by B into 100 plus delta D by D into 100. Okay, so that's equal to what we have, the measurements length 2%, so 2 plus breadth 1% and thickness 3%. So the answer is 6. So the error in this equation is 6. Okay, and the next one. A physical quantity P is related to 4 observations A, B, C and D as P equal to A raised to 3, B raised to 3 by root C into D. C only in root, D have no root. Okay, and the percentage error in the measurements of A, B, C and D are 1%, 3%, 2% and 3% respectively. What is the percentage error in the measurement of P? Okay, first we have the equation that P equal to A cube B cube root C into D. Okay, that may be written as A cube B cube by C raised to 1 by 2 into D. Okay, then the error in this equation is delta P by P equal to 3 into delta A by A plus 3 into delta B by B small letter b 3 into delta B by B plus half into delta C by C plus delta D by D. Okay, so the percentage error delta P by P into 100 equal to 3 into delta A by A into 100 plus 3 into delta B by B into 100 plus half into delta C by C into 100 plus delta D by D into 100. Okay, so we have the percentage error in A is 1, so 3 into 1, and the percentage error in B is 3, so 3 into 3, and the percentage error in C is 2, so 1 by 2 into 2, and the percentage error in D is 3, so what we will get, that's equal to 3 plus 9 plus 1 plus 3. So that's equal to 16. The answer is 16. So the percentage error in this equation is 16. It's very simple, I think. Okay, these are some problems related to today's topic. So our chapter is over. So just revise the things. First, we studied about quantities, fundamental quantities, derived quantities, then fundamental units, derived units, how we are going to measure the terms, and then system of units, CGS system, MKS system, FPS system, SI system. Okay, in SI system there are 7 fundamental quantities and units, and apart from that there are 2 supplementary units. Then we discussed about how we are going to measure the large distance and smallest distance likewise, that is there becomes a parallax method. Okay, then time measurement, then mass measurement, then dimensional analysis. That 7 fundamental quantities are called 7 dimensions of physical world. Okay, we discussed about the applications of that dimensional analysis. Applications of the dimensional analysis. First one, to check whether an equation is correct or not. And next one, the conversion of one system into another one. The last one, find the exact relationship between the physical quantities. Okay, likewise. Then we discussed about accuracy, precision, error. Okay, from error, there are many types of errors. We discussed about that. Systematic error, random error, least count error, likewise. Okay, then after that, absolute error, mean absolute error, relative error, percentage error, and the combination of errors, and also we discussed about the significant figures. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed the class. Okay, thank you.